Okay, you might be a quick Saunders.
Gregory.
Eagle looking great, you're go.
And we're rolling, Gregory.
Greg Saunders.
Wow. Hey, great.
Show us the skills that have made you a media darling.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, 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 welcome to the Saturday Morning Stateline Show.
Look, all I'm saying this week, Tom, is that we're all very, very, very lucky that flies and ants and other bugs don't scream when we kill them.
Or charge us with murder.
Tom, it's your Saturday morning Stateline Show on this 14th day of October, the year 2023, the latest it has ever been
In the history of mankind.
You made it. Congratulations. How's your week, buddy? How you doing?
My week was busy. I've got a Halloween party today.
Halloween
It
party?
was it was originally scheduled for October 28th. And then the gal that I do the party for, it's a private home out in Pecatonica. It's really cool. They got a barn that's done up all year round at Halloween theme. It's so awesome. I've been doing it for 9 years now. She calls and she says, something came up. We have to change it to the 14th. I got a wedding on the 21st.
Well,
so that worked out.
A lot of Halloween related stuff happening early this year. In fact, there was a trunk or treat, I think, last Sunday already in Rockford, if I remember right.
Yeah, I think what's happening is so much is going on in the leading up to Halloween that you got to pick and choose. And you say, well, the only time we can do it is 3 weeks before.
Well, there's a ton of stuff going on a week from today. One of those things is a release party, if you will, that we're going to talk to YASH about here in just a minute. But before we get to that, we need to do this. Our big number of the week, where our last big number of the week, Race to 10 Challenge, Joann was a victor by a score of 10-8. So we're all starting over again. Neither one of you scored a point last week. I stumped you both. I'm going to try to do it again this week, too. Our big number of the week this week is 12.2 billion with a B. And the answer is boo or bed. Boo or bed. We'll give you the answer before the end of the show. And without further ado, we're going to get our guest here. Yash, I met because about 2 or 3 years ago, you were dating my niece.
Yes.
And so I meet this guy at my brother-in-law's house, and he's like, yeah, this is a cool guy. He's a photographer, he's doing his photography thing and playing around with some rap stuff and whatever. And I'm like, what a cool guy. This isn't traveling all over the country, shooting photos. Why did we ever talk about this?
I think I was still in production for it. I was actually like really close to finishing, and I think everyone else probably knew except for you. So
when I'm talking about this, it's called Prelude to Life or Prelude to L1F3, which you have to explain because I don't understand.
Sure.
This is releasing 1 week from today, red carpet premiere at the Nordloff. What is Prelude to L1F3?
So Prelude to Life is a visual album, and when I say visual album, I pretty much mean if you close your eyes and listen to this musical album, what you're visualizing is kind of what we put on the big screen, right? We have this narrative visual that we've created for the last 5 years, so half decade, and we wanted it to come to life, and I wanted you guys to not only hear my emotions, but see my emotions as well. And the name Prelude to Life comes from the original idea, which was Life, the movie Life. And I wrote this script and I thought it was just so good that I couldn't even do it justice. So I wrote a different script, called it Prelude to Life. And my lucky number has always been 13, so I just wanted to incorporate 1-3 in there. So I just figured
you just wanted to attract all the Swifties. You can't fool me. So you have a script called Life that's going to be coming up in 5 years from now, because it's going to take you 5 years to make.
Perhaps. I mean, it might be sooner than that, to be honest. It might only take a year long or 2 years. The goal with Prelude to Life was to make it such a major success, to hone in all the skills that I can go to production companies or go to places that will bankroll bigger projects like this. hey, here's a proof of concept. It worked. It's 5 times national award winning. It's 2 times international award winning. Imagine what I can do with an actual budget. I filmed this project, Prelude to Life, for like less than $10,000, which is like chump change when you think about what I really went into it. And 5,000 went into it, like going and spending it in Vegas for the Grammy weekend. So like, that doesn't really count, you know?
Well, I heard you say like 80-90% of this was shot in Rockford.
Yes. So I always say that this project was shot by Rockford, as in Rockford people and actors and whatnot, in Rockford, for Rockford. There's only 2 spots that we didn't film in Rockford, which are at Devil's Lake in Wisconsin and at Las Vegas at Grammy weekend.
Looking at this too, were you involved with or inspired by the other young guy that made that film that caught on and got an award?
Bing Liu?
Bing, yes, Bing.
Yes. So I never really got acquainted with his work, but so many people when I was first starting this project, they were like, "Are you Bing? Are you Bing?" And I'm like, if it allows me to secure this location, sure I am. But
Yeah.
I always told him eventually I will be award winning and I will be critically acclaimed. So
And there you go, man. You're making it happen. So
Appreciate
Vegas, Devil's Lake, and a lot of Rockford.
tons of Rockford. When you watch this film, you will literally see like all the staples. This was filmed before Embassy Suites was actually made, so it's kind of like, whoa, I didn't even know time existed before that. So if we had time now, we would probably go figure out how to get that in there. But we have Mississippi Parks. We have Lino's, like literally down, like inside Lino's. We got the whole spot. And we filmed this through COVID, which is why we were able to get that spot completely secluded.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got tons of great stuff.
Well, it helped to know Chelsea, and Chelsea works there. So
Yes, definitely.
my other niece, Chelsea, who's also a photographer, and that's how I knew you guys traded, industry tricks and secrets and stuff, and helped each other out with gear and stuff like that. So, are you still doing photography? Is that kind of your main gig?
Yeah, so when I travel a lot. Like I almost fly like twice a week religiously at this point. It's exhausting. But I subcontract my company out for other bigger production companies. So we pretty much, let's just say a bigger production company gets a job and they don't have people to fulfill that job. So they hit me up because I'm good. And they're like, hey, would love to send you to New York. Would love to send you to Miami to knock out this project. And I go with cool people. We work with like insanely like awesome people like Mark Cuban, Obama, DHL, United Center. Like we just worked with the National Osteopathy Association. So we were literally surrounded by a bunch of doctors and filming at a bunch of different medical schools in Houston. And then next thing you know, it's my cousin's medical college that he's going to. And I'm like, what? Like what a small world. So,
I can help with that. I can do that.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. I wanted to make sure we put up on the screen here too, this stuff that you're doing with Youth Build and community. Why isn't this coming up? Community Solutions. There we go. Comprehensive Community Solutions, which I'm a part of a group called Next Rockford, and we took a tour of that a couple of months ago, and all the stuff they're doing down there, which includes Youth Build. It includes Alpha. And there's just some really awesome stuff happening downtown, helping out kids figure out some career tracks, figure out what skills they've got, whether it's building or electrical or plumbing or who knows what, all different things in the trades. And it's like a you want to call it a trade school, but it's not like a trade school. There's something beyond that, and you're looking at it from the technical side of things a little bit.
Yeah, so I got acquainted with CCS about 6 to 7 months ago. And essentially, I was really inspired to do something for the community. And this program just does so much stuff for the youth. And I've got a really soft spot for the kids. I don't know why. I don't know when. I normally don't like kids, but they're just people who just need an extra hand, And I was like, man, if I have it, why not, right? So I got inspired to pretty much do content creation work for CCS, And my thought process going into this was, there's this amazing program that's doing its best to get kids like educated and on the right track, but not many people know about it. When I say CCS, no one knows what CCS is.
Right.
So I was like, that's a problem, and I've got the skills to fix that. So why not do something about it? So I don't know. It was just another man with another dream and passion to do something. So.
Well, Youth Build it's a nationwide thing too. It's not just Rockford, but the CCS is, I believe, just a Rockford thing.
Yeah, CCS is the program. It's the nonprofit.
Yeah.
Within CCS, they have like 4 amazing programs that they have, which is Youth Build Rockford, Alpha, Rock for Work, and Alive and Free. And those are their core pillars of program. And pretty much that's how they reach out to the youth and make like a change in youth lives. And they do so much stuff. It's more than just learning and teaching. It's how to shave, how to be a better person, how to do your taxes, how to be a better man, how to go about with anger issues and things like that. There's just so many things that us adults are lacking as well. So it's crazy to see that they're making a change for sure.
I think there's a desperate need for life skills, and it's not just inner city kids. It's everybody. We, schooling has lacked in some very basic things that I think they're turning the corner on some of this stuff, but it's each individual school needs to embrace the fact that their kids need to learn some life skills that we maybe aren't getting at home. Maybe we should be getting at home, but if we're not, like you said, just basic stuff, shaving, stuff like that some guys are like, you don't have a dad at home and no one's ever showed you. You got to trial and error. How about having someone to help you out a little bit?
Absolutely. And the faculty members there are amazing. They're just really top tier people. They genuinely care as much, if not sometimes more, than the parents do. And that's just kind of what sometimes the kids need, right? It's like to know that someone cares and someone is out here looking out for you. And that's what they're doing.
Absolutely. Tom, are you chomping at the bit? You got a question down there?
Well, one question, going back to the film, in the 2 or 3 minutes I've seen of it, very impressed by the video quality. You obviously used film, not videotape, right?
Yes, I use digital.
Okay.
Yeah, I never grew up with that. My grandpa did. My grandpa was a professional photographer. He was the first one in our village back in India, and he worked with lots of the film tape and all that stuff.
That just shows my age right there.
No, it's so cool. I'm really spoiled, to be honest. Like, I grew up in the age of like, let me just start with the 4K camera. Like,
yeah. Well, I saw the one spot where you guys were going down in a little dune buggy. You're going down like a gravel road, and it pans over like this. It really looked like, it looked like something out of the Hollywood movie. So yeah. Very nice. Very impressed.
That was the goal with this project. The goal with this project is to film it with very little money, with amazing people and the community, and film a whole behind the scenes for the last 5 years. So if you go to my YouTube page, you can see I vlogged. It's up right now. I vlogged every single time I shot this film. And I pretty much wrote out a blueprint for people. So that way in the future, people can't be like, oh, you had money or you had help or didn't have any like hardships going through this. It's like, nope, here's everything. Here's my proof. I did this with literal no skill whatsoever. When I first started out, I had no clue what I was doing, to the point now where it's like national award winning. So if I did this, what's your excuse now? So that's what this whole project was really supposed to be. It's like, because I can't stand people who just come up with excuses for why they're not successful. It's like, hey.
Yeah. You know what? Because of you, I am going to learn to ride a bike today.
Don't hurt yourself, Tom.
Yeah, well, hey. How long is the film?
The film is 42 minutes.
Okay, all right.
It's kind of crazy to think that it took 42 minutes, or it took 5 years to do 42 minutes.
Wow.
Well, and that's, you hit the nail right on the head, because a lot of what I've been looking at, especially these last few years, I'm being inspired by these creators who are saying, you know what, fail and fail forward and fail fast and do it and learn. And I've tried to kind of make it my mantra, especially these last 10 years in my life, doing a career that is my second choice, Okay, obviously broadcasting and doing this was always my first choice, in being radio and now doing this podcast. There's two things in life. There's win and there's learn.
Right.
Okay. You want to put the L on my face? That's right. You got it. I learned today.
Exactly.
What
And
did
we
you
talk, speaking of the podcasting, we run a podcast studio downtown Rockford, and we talk about this all the time on our podcast show, The Creative Struggle. We go behind the process and talk about the struggle that people go through when it comes to creating their art. So we love talking about L's. Like the L's are the reasons why we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was it, Thomas Edison, that said, and I'm going to misquote it because everybody misquotes it, but I'll paraphrase. He tried to make the light bulb 2,000 times. On the 2001st time he succeeded, he said, I didn't fail 2,000 times. I learned how not to make it 2,000 times.
Exactly.
Something along those lines. But that's the concept.
Yeah.
It's all how you look at it. And it's all in your mindset, too. Like you just said, you can, what's your excuse? I have a friend of mine in a wheelchair who does more with no use of legs and limited use of his arms than most people do sitting on their couch playing video games or whatever. So yeah, what's your excuse? I like that. That's a great name for a podcast, by the way. What's your excuse?
Oh, there you go.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Well, I want to play this trailer real quick here, the short version of the trailer. The long version is the one that really, really caught me a couple weeks ago when I was like, oh my gosh, Yash has to be on the show. You got to get Yash on here, especially after I learned what you were doing with Youth Build. So here's a quick look at the trailer, which is on your Facebook channel.
What do we have here, Dr. Page?
John Doe, massive head trauma, massive blood loss, multiple fractures, multiple internal injuries.
People die every day. You gotta move on, man. You gotta let that shit go.
Used to talk shit with your ass and now.
Oh my! There you go. So the event that's at the Nordloff next week. I know when last I heard there was maybe 30 seats available. Is there any seats still available for it?
Yeah, there are definitely tons of seats still available. They are filling up really quickly. Just because it's like we got general admission, which is free now because we got sponsored by the city, and they're pretty much covering the tab for people. So I'm telling people like, hey, come check it out. It's free.
So how do people get a seat?
They can go to a website, www.official-icon.com. Or just check us out on Facebook or Instagram, and we always have tons of links all over. And just go to products and get a ticket. So super easy. It'll be a 4-hour event. The movie's only 42 minutes, but I really wanted to make it a very grandiose event. We waited 5 years. We might as well make it look beautiful. So we really wanted to do our best to make this a unforgettable night, really a red carpet premiere type of vibe.
Nice. Now, obviously, a lot of these shots that you're getting are so epic. The Devil's Lake stuff and everything else. Are you like a licensed drone operator?
The license is coming, but yes. We are really good at drone work for sure. We fly it all around the U.S. for tons of work. So we've gotten pretty good at it. It's definitely, we make it look easy. I'm not gonna lie, but
well, the cameras now are so crazy awesome that it's something that once you've learned how to maneuver the thing, and that's what scares me about some of this drone equipment is it's not cheap, and you better know how to fly it around, or you're gonna have a $4,000 pile of plastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, is there anything else that we didn't ask you about, Yash, that we want to make sure we talk about as far as the project or Youth Build or anything else that's on your brain? I want to give you kind of an open forum to just kind of share your heart and what you're up to, or maybe what's next. Anything else that you want to throw out there?
Not really sure. I think I'm really appreciative for the community for showing the support that they have for so many years, sticking with me. We've got. I think one thing people forget is this is a visual album, so the album will be releasing as well on the same day. So check me out on Spotify at YASH MUSABJI or Apple Music or YouTube. We just love to curate really good people together here. So if you want to be a part of a cool community that wants to just create good stuff and just share and just be a genuine person, then my doors are always open.
Well, thanks for mentioning community, because I want to give a shout out to Beth Carner this morning.
Absolutely.
An encouragement to getting you on the show. And when I saw that she was acting in this, I was, doubly jealous again. I'm like, that's awesome. That is so cool. And she gets to have a really cool part in this.
She's one of the main lead roles for sure. Yeah. And it was her first time in a short film project. So she was definitely really nervous going about it. And I was like, that's perfect, because your character literally just has to be nervous the whole time. It's fine.
Yeah. Be that. We were in Hello Dolly together last year and a couple other things in the past. So it's really cool to see her on the screen and say, hey, I knew her before. So that's really cool.
Yeah, right? Because your family's involved in lots of musicals, right?
Yes, we've done a lot of musicals out of Starlight Theater, and yeah, she's one of those excellent cast members who you can count on to be there and do what's needed and just kind of answer the call every single time. Absolutely. So very cool to see her all covered in blood and and acting.
A little morbid.
That's a morbid thing, right? It's just it's a cool show.
Hey, what hospital did you use for your hospital scenes?
So every hospital I asked said no, which was rough. But we actually ended up using Rock Valley College, and they allowed us to use their OR technical suites.
Okay.
And shout out Shelly Huff for that. Actually, she was like the main technical director at that program at the time. And they just had these amazing suites. I was just going to use a classroom and turn it into one, but they're like, hey, we got something even better. And they're like, since you are Bing Lu, we'll definitely let you use it. And I'm like,
that's good. No, you know what? There'll come a day when you can wear a shirt that says Bing Who.
Yeah, no, right?
Yeah.
We actually submitted our film for the 815 Shorts Festival, which is coming up. And Bing is going to be one of the guests there. So we're like, it's going to be kind of cool to see that and actually talk to him. And we have tons of mutual friends, but we've never actually met. So it's kind of like I'm waiting for that Marvel Cinematic Universe to collab.
Yeah.
Well, I hear he's working on something else here that should be released soon too. So hopefully we'll be able to get a chance to shout out to him as well. But
absolutely,
very cool. Prelude to Life. Looking forward to seeing where this goes from here. And kudos to your work with Youth Build and what you've helped them build into their youth. That's awesome. Really, really kudos big time for that.
Appreciate that.
All right, buddy. Well, hey, we'll catch up. I wish I could go. If I was already not booked with something I can't change next week, I would definitely be at this premiere.
We're both DJing a wedding. Separate wedding.
Wedding excuse. Everyone always has a wedding excuse.
I know. Sorry, I didn't make your funeral, but my friend was getting married,
All right, buddy. We'll keep in touch, all right?
All righty. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Yash.
Have a good one.
Bye.
The Moose Man right there, Yash, and his Prelude to Life 1 week from today. Get your tickets if you want to go. If you're available, go to that Icon, official-icon.com and get a seat. Go check it out down at the Nordloff. It's going to be a very cool event, Tom. It's going to be a very cool event. Very nice. Joann's already sitting by at PAWS, and we're going to bring you on now if you're okay with that, Joann.
That's right. I didn't notice I was on. Sorry.
No, I just hit the button. We're gonna go ahead and do our shout outs now because I skipped that from the beginning. I wanted to get Yash on right away. And I had a busy week. How about you guys? Did you have a busy week with all this nice weather turned to wet weather?
I had a very busy week. I'm getting ready for my Halloween party today. Working 3 jobs this week, and now I just took on another one.
Hello.
I'm going to be doing more trivia, doing a trivia event. I'm not going to talk about it. It doesn't matter. That it is open to the public, but I'm not for here. so I'm going to do it in a couple of weeks, and that's another thing I got to work on. The month of October has been nuts. I know like 10 people with birthdays in October. October 1st was my mom. The 2nd, my buddy Joe. All the way up through the 13th, and then it skips a couple, and then I got the 21st is my daughter. It's just crazy.
World. Well, we're both wearing our Bring Joy hats today. Today is that Nicholas Richel run out
That's
at
right.
Rivet Stadium.
Right.
Nick's home run starts at 9 a.m. down at Rivet Stadium. It's rain or shine. They're going to be out there walking or running the 7K that they are doing today, and the auction is still open. Grammy's auction is still open, and there is somewhere in the neighborhood of 250 to 300 items up there in the Grammys auction. There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you ran that list of things last week.
Yeah,
it was amazing. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, we're not done yet.
So go to nickswish.com and check that all out, and you'll get there's so really cool stuff to bid on their website. Shout outs for me this week. I want to give a shout out to Rich, my buddy Rich. Thanks for inviting me. We went golfing at Mississippi last Saturday afternoon, which was a little bit chilly, but not too bad.
Yeah.
Rich and Stacy and Paul, their normal number 4 guy was not available. So they're like, hey, Greg, you available? And I'm like, hey, I'm actually available on a Saturday afternoon when I'm normally showing houses, but had a little lull in the buyer activity. So went out and golfed 9 at Mississippi, which was
nice. I haven't golfed Mississippi in a lot of years. I don't even know, 5, 7.
There's no water hazards at Mississippi. It's
I know.
My first two hits.
Might be after last night.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
2 hits. My tee off shot and my second shot, I lost both balls.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, wait a minute.
Well,
I don't know that I brought myself 70 balls, so I only lost a couple throughout the rest of the time. But yeah, without water, you figure I'm not going to lose anything as long as I keep it in the fairway or the rough. I'm good. With the leaves that were falling off the trees, it was really hard to find your golf ball.
Oh,
a lot of leaves.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
Golf Mississippi, save Mississippi. If they're still open for golf next week when things dry out, go get in 9 before it gets too cold. It's still a great.
I'm gonna do 18 next Thursday morning.
Next Thursday morning.
Yep, up in Beloit. Kruger Haskell. It's a great course. It's the only course I played in the last 5 or 6 times I went golfing. After the one where you and I golfed at, where'd we go for the PAWS event? That was at Timber Point, right?
Love Timber Point.
Oh my God, yeah, Timber Point's awesome. With Coolidge, Coolidge, and
my brother-in-law Dwayne.
No, that's right.
Yeah, we had a blast.
Anyway, but since then I've done nothing but Kruger Haskell up in Beloit about 5 or 6 times over the last couple of years. I haven't gone yet this year at all. So I'm looking forward to Thursday.
Awesome. The other shout outs this week did some business that I want to give a shout out to. Sold on Tony, Keller Williams Realty Signature. Want to congratulate the Thompson family on the closing of their home this week, and Chad on the closing of his Loves Park house as well. And then Drew and Jamie went under contract, which is great because they're also selling to buy. So they're selling their house with us in one location, buying in another location. And we got both of that all situated this last week. And then Mary, who is actually the mom of one of my wife's former students, is also buying a house. She's buying a house in Rockford. So kudos to her for getting under contract. It took us a little bit, but we got it done. And that's the nature of the market right now. There is low inventory, but there does seem to be a little lull in the buyer activity at the moment. So
what about the interest rate? Is it going down at all?
Interest rates are like about 7.5, right around 7.5, which is actually normal. But it's the highest it's been in a long time, but it's actually the normal
rate. But think about it this way. You buy a house and a year or two later, you get the house you want. You get your dream house. And then a year or two later, 3 years, whatever, because you're locked into your house for 15 to 30 years or whatever, you get to refinance it.
Yeah.
And the money you save with refinancing more than makes up for the money you spend in interest over that 2 or 3 years. But you can also pay a couple $100 a month and knock out principal. So
Yeah,
it's not a bad idea right now to buy, even with higher interest rates.
Exactly. And then a lot of people hear that advice. Not a lot of people take it, but it's, for extra 50 or $100 a month, you throw toward your principal, you could knock off years off of your mortgage. It's a little bit of sacrifice now.
You can lock.
Makes a lot.
Yeah, and that extra $100 is, if you go to Starbucks, or what is it called, $5, whatever. You go to Starbucks, Dunkin', anywhere like that, and you're buying a cup of coffee for $4 or $5, and you grab a donut, you're talking $6. Or you go to a McDonald's, or you go here or there, sacrifice one meal a month, or a week, whatever, and there's your $100 right there. So every month you throw in that extra $100, and you don't even miss it.
I mentioned Next Rockford before because we did a thing at Youth Build a while back. Next Rockford had a great meeting again for this month on Thursday this week. We met with Mayor Greg Jury of Loves Park over at the Loves Park City Hall and had a nice meeting with him.
He's a
super nice guy.
He's a good guy. I interviewed him when Alex and I were doing the sports show. Alex didn't make it in. He called in, and Greg was our guest. So I had Greg on for about a half an hour. It was a very good time. Very good interview.
Mayor
he talked about
also there in this meeting and had a nice talk about the future of Loves Park and how it runs.
Yeah, we talked about his golf open.
Oh yeah,
he did the Ryan Jury Golf Open,
right?
For a number of years. I don't know if they're doing it anymore. I think they are, but
they might have took a year off, but I wonder if they're bringing that back. Loves Park, McChesney Park, a couple of communities with no property tax. They cover their expenses, their police, fire, utilities, workers and stuff like that through other means, through other taxes, other than property tax. So he was very proud of Loves Park being a community of 24,000 that can do something like that. It's very unique. There's not a lot of communities that do it that way. And kudos to Mayor Jury and the years of Loves Park service that he has given them over there. Linked lunch yesterday was really, really good. Kudos again to Machine Shed for hosting, and our speaker, Sherry DeRosso, the owner of Northern Illinois Optical, told her story of growing her business. It was really inspirational to hear someone talk about the blow by blow efforts it took for her to buy the business and what it looks like for your. I don't want this to sound wrong, but the average entrepreneur, the extraordinary effort that it takes to either start a business or to buy a business, it's something that only other entrepreneurs really can relate to. I think, there's the struggles that took for her to buy it. And yet she got it done, and the hours she brought her dad with her too. And the question was brought up, how much does Sherry work? And he's like 7 days a week. She's worked at this place for 8 years and owned it now for the last few years. But it took some monumental effort to get it done. So Sherry, kudos to you. And she brought up how she was inspired by our closing of our show every week, where we say you change the world when you help one person, so be a blessing to someone today. And she says she takes that into her business every day. It's not about serving the masses, it's about serving one person at a time and giving them attention and all your effort and making sure that they're taken care of. And she does a lot of neat little things, lots of history tied up in that Northern Illinois Optical building. They've been a member of the Chamber of Commerce for 75 years.
Yeah, that's the one on First, right? First
Madison.
Madison. Okay. All right.
Madison Market. It's right there.
No, it is Madison. Because that's what I got confused with First, because I thought it was across the street from Noah's Ark, which I thought was on First. That's why I thought it was. But you're right. You're 1 block over. You're right. Madison. But anyway.
So very, very cool. So kudos to Sherry for sharing and being a part of Linked Lunch, which by the way,
on 4th Street.
What is?
They
moved?
Ozark Hospital.
Oh, yeah, right. No, they are now, yes. But they used to be on
I know.
I thought it was
but
First.
Just saying they've moved.
They have moved.
Right.
So that was really, really good on Thursday.
No one open to the public.
Oh, it's not?
They only do rescue animals.
Oh, okay.
They work with PAWS and Noah's Ark.
Gotcha. Awesome. So mark your calendars, by the way. If you're available on the second Friday of the month, come on down for a linked lunch at the Machine Shed from 11:30 to 1. We have a nice group of folks that get together, local professionals, business owners, not-for-profit leaders, just a great group of people who like to encourage each other and share ideas. So that went very well. And then got to give a shout out to the Christian Life Eagles game last night that I do their PA announcing for their football games. And they got like 7 home games this year. Well, the game last night obviously was very wet. It was raining the whole time. And this team that came from Edwardsville, they're the Lutheran High Knights from Edwardsville, came up to play the Eagles. And it's raining. And there's going to be a lot of running plays. And, it's... It's like, is this even going to be a couple of scores maybe? Well, the opposing team put up 20 points by the middle of the second quarter. So it's 20-0. And it's like, oh, what a bummer, senior night for the Eagles and they're getting beats. But the team they were playing they weren't running over them. It wasn't going to be a slaughter. There was competitive things going on. And talk about a light switch, something. The rain picked up, and so did the Eagles. They scored 42 unanswered points. So the final score was 42-20. And kudos to the awesome seniors that really turned it up. And everyone got a chance to play. And it rained the whole time. And they celebrated by splashing into the puddles on the sidelines when the game was all done.
Could have made some serious money by taking bets at halftime. We're going to double their score. I got 20 on it. You got it.
It was what was it? It was 20-8. 20-8 at halftime. It's like, okay, good. At least this is a game. And then they came back and they scored again, and then they scored again, and it was pretty impressive. Stuff going around the Rockford area this week. Let's do a quick screen share with GoRockford.com. We've got the annual solar eclipse experience up at the Nature at the Confluence. That's there's 10:30 to noon today. Learn about the special occurrence of the annual solar eclipse from local science educator Sean Weinberg. It's free. Nature at the Confluence, all ages welcome. They were hoping for some RSVPs in advance, but maybe they probably just let you in. 306 Dickup Street in South Beloit from 10:30 to noon today. There's a concert on the creek tonight up at the Spring Creek Church. That's from 7 to 9. Donations welcome. Todd Lorenk, combining instrumental virtuosity, electronic wizardry, and creativity to create a ukulele music that defies description. He's also a fine singer. That's happening from 7 to 9 tonight at the Spring Creek Church, corner of Spring Creek and Springbrook in Rockford. And the Family Fall Festival at Camp Winnebago is happening today from noon to 5. This is free admission. Pumpkin painting, s'more station. Going to be some wet tractor hay rides if they are doing the tractor hay rides in this wetness. Event is free to attend, open to the community. There are some low-cost activities to enjoy at the festival as well from noon to 5 over there at Camp Winnebago off of North Main Street in Rockford today. Other random stuffs, coming up November 4th, if you want to do something to support the Veterans Drop-In Center, their 11th year of hosting a 5K run and walk is happening November 4th. The Rockford Roadrunners helped put this on. They've had over 700 participants in the past on a certified course where I think it's at Sports Score 1. I'll get more details as we get closer to that. But if you're in someone who likes to run and raise money, Veterans Drop-In Center, November 4th is their event. Yeah. Reebok basketball's got a new president, Shaquille O'Neal. Remember when Shaquille O'Neal turned down Reebok?
I don't remember, because when I hear Shaquille O'Neal's name, I shut down.
Oh, come on.
Man.
Come on. He walked away from a $40 million shoe deal with Reebok about 25 years ago. And then he went and did his own line of shoes, affordable shoes that he sold at Walmart. Which he sold over 400 million pairs as of 2021 of that brand. And now Reebok was like, okay, we made a mistake. Shaquille can be our new president. And now he's running Reebok, which, they've kind of fallen off the map recently. So this is probably going to help them get back on the map as far as the athletic shoes.
Why? What do you mean? Reebok said we made a mistake?
I think so. I think they realized they should have stuck with Shaquille and listened to him in the first place when he said, we need to make more shoes, affordable shoes.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Because that was his whole thing. That's what he wanted to do. And they wouldn't do it. So he went and started his own. Did very well at it.
All right. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. And now they're listening to him. Yeah. No, I'm kind of half kidding when I say I'm not a big fan of Shaquille. I never have been. I thought he was all just nothing but elbows and I didn't like his play. He couldn't hit a free throw. No. He just couldn't hit a free throw. And he never, ever worked on it. He was like a 48% lifetime free throw shooter. Anyway, I don't care for his demeanor. I don't like him on TNT. He's wearing sunglasses. He talks like this, and you can't even hardly understand him. It's just, come on, Shaquille. You're not.
I kind of like the way he does a lot of his stuff, especially when it comes to his charity work. The guy is
as a person, as an entrepreneur, love the guy. Yes. Love the guy. I'm talking about his basketball and his basketball commentating and this and that. And just some of his commercials, but he's a funny guy, and it's kind of middle of the road for me, I guess. Things I don't like about him and things I do. So
a new word is added to the English language every 98 minutes. This almost ended up being our big number of the week, but it's not. Global Language Monitor says their best estimate is just under 1.1 million new words. And they are a little bit looser with their acceptance of words than is other dictionaries. Like your typical unabridged dictionary right now has about 600,000 words in it. Well, the Global Language Monitor has 1.1 million, and they're estimating about every 98 minutes a new word is invented, and they got to add that to the English
language. Funnest thing I heard all day.
It's so funnest. It's absolutely
yeah.
And
that was more funnier than the joke you told last week.
There's a dubbing tool that can translate speech into 28 different languages while preserving the speaker's voice. We're all going to be using this.
Oh, that's interesting.
In the next 5 years. In the next 5 years, watch for this. We're all going to be using this to communicate with people all over the globe. It's from a company called 11 Labs. And it's a dubbing tool that can translate speech into 28 different languages. We were at a restaurant. Was it Thursday night? I forget which night it was. Anyway, we were a couple tables away from some guys speaking Italian, and our waitress was trying to communicate with them. And my wife hooked up our waitress with an app, a Google Translate app. She's like, here. If you get this, now you can talk to them, and they'll understand what you're saying, and you'll understand them. So they were having fun.
We talked about that too with sometimes when we take in dogs or cats, and the people who are relinquished them are maybe Spanish speaking only,
and if no one's there that speaks it,
understand. But that would be someone else told me that you need to use an app that would help to translate.
It helps. It definitely helps.
Yeah.
Well, that's my randoms for this week. Anything else you'd like to add before we do all things pause?
Well, I was going to say, this is AI run amok. If you think about it, and I don't want to start any controversies here, but the Tower of Babel, I mean, Babylon separated all of our languages. Now AI is going to basically just completely throw that out the window. Now we're all going to be able to communicate on a global level. And there was a reason why God separated all the languages, there's a reason why.
Yeah.
There's some end time stuff. You might want to pick up. It's called the Bible, Bible. It's called Bible. The last book of the Bible.
Basic instructions before leaving Earth, right?
Basic instructions before leaving Earth is often what its Bible has been called. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
But the last chapter, extremely hard to read. All kinds of confusing things in there. But if you can read it a few times and dig into it, Revelation tells you some stuff that might become very important in the very near future.
I always tell people, unless you really, really, really know your Bible, avoid Revelation. Avoid it until you really feel comfortable with it.
There's some truth to that. There's definitely some truth. Maybe start with the Book of John. That would be a good place.
There
to
you go.
Read that and get some
I
insight.
know, but there is some need to understand other people, and maybe that is why. I mean, I have people coming into the quilt store, who are asked, and it's very difficult, and you can't just say learn English.
It's like, what language are they speaking? Which app should I use? Decipher this for me, please. I want to know what they're saying. I want to help them.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
All right, so there's my randoms for this week. Before we get to our big number of the week stuff, do we have anything new at PAWS Humane Society that we want to?
Well, we have a couple of new cats, but other than that,
do we have one we want to feature?
We always have one we want to feature.
I want that fluffy cat from last week. I want to adopt him.
You want to adopt every cat.
I know, I do. I'm down to 2 cats. I need a third cat to keep the other 2 in line,
That's one way to do it.
This is the cat I really want to show you.
And look at that. We're at PAWS. PAWS.
This is the sweetest cat ever. She's only 6 months old, but she wants to talk to you too. Her name is Duo. She came in severely neglected. She had a bad eye infection, then her eye had to be removed.
Oh.
And it's her.
She almost looks like a Scottish fold.
No, she is a Persian.
Oh, okay.
So, I've had Persians are kind of, but she has been talking the whole time. She wants out of this cage, but she's a young cat. She's only 6 months old. Her name is Duo.
Wow.
And I'm not quite sure but she says, I want to go home with Tom.
Yes. Sign me up.
A cute little voice.
Oh my God, that is
Persians
awesome.
have a lot of health issues too, but she's really sweet.
Mm-hmm.
I want to go home. So that's Duo.
I heard a song from an artist called Kiffness. Have you heard of Kiffness?
No.
Kiffness. He makes music using cats' meows.
Cats meow.
Wow.
And it's really actually very good. It's very cute, especially if you love cats.
I do love cats.
What's that? Like Jingle Bell? They have that at
something like that. You're on the right track.
Yeah. Christmas time. Slow. This is halfway through the month. We've only had 1 dog adoption this month.
Halfway through.
Wow.
So we've got some catching up to do. This is August and September.
Wow.
So there will be some dogs at the shelter today. We try to bring them in on Saturdays. So I don't know if Tom's fluffy cat was in the community room. I don't know if she got adopted or not. Shadow, yeah.
All right. If she got adopted, I need an address so I know where to go steal the cat.
Guess what? Here's Shadow.
Oh, there she is. She's lurking behind the pole. Look at that cat. That is just my kind of cat right there.
You might creep someone out asking for visiting rights like that, Tom.
Yeah, that's true.
She's still here, Tom, so no worries. And being in the community room shows us, oh, look at this handsome boy.
Hello there.
The Siamese that we had in here, I forgot what his name was, but he's adopted. We had him a couple of weeks ago. Adonis, yes. So Adonis is no longer here.
Yeah, he was a cat feature of the week. What did you say, a couple of weeks ago? I remember that.
A couple of weeks ago. Yeah. Here's one in our bag. This is Sweet Pea. He wants to talk too. Wait, let me get up and get closer to the camera. Well, I don't know what Sweet Pea's. He was found as a stray. Oh, often strays are. People think the cats can be indoor, outdoor, and sometimes they don't come home again, and then they end up as a stray. Because they're definitely not feral. No. That's Sweet Pea. We have kittens. It's after breakfast, so some of them are sleepy. We ate our breakfast, now we're going to nap for a little while. Till the next excitement happens in our lives.
And there will be more excitement in your life, trust me. It's coming.
There's a pretty tortie back there. She looks mostly black, but if you look at her face, you can tell she's got some tortie in her. These are Mittens. I think this is Mittens. I was going to look and see what the name of the other. Winnie and Mittens. Cute little kittens. Yeah, we don't have anything big coming up. There's 3 in this one. It looks, 4. I missed that one. You always have to count the cats to make sure they get enough food. We were talking about that one day. Make sure. So it looks a little quiet today. And I think it's Clarice. So kind of a quick view.
Okay. Very nice.
There's kind of our Hall of Fame.
Look at that.
Kind of gives you, they try to tell you a little more about each cat. Some are in foster and some are here.
Some stories from the last year or so.
No, this is current.
This is current. Okay.
Because there's my Estrella who doesn't speak English. Can I get her on? There she is.
There she is.
Estrella who needs a translator. And they say I say it wrong. It's supposed to be Estrella.
Estrella.
She comes to Estrella.
If it works, that's all that matters. It works.
You could call her Stella and she'd come probably.
But she does not come to Star. I can tell you that.
All things PAWS. 815-299-PAWS is the phone number to call. 815-299-7297 or check out the website pawshs.org.
There we go.
Very nice, very nice. All right. Well, if we've covered all the bases, let's get to our big number of the week. What do you say?
We're fast.
Sounds good to me.
We're ready. Our race to 10 currently is tied at 0 apiece because Joann won our last race to 10. My final score of 10-8. It was a neck and neck race all the way down to the end.
It was a long race too because we were tied for quite a while.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Took us a long time to get to 10.
My arm hurts. Oh, I think it's that salt you poured in my wound. There you go. It's all right. Way to go, Joann.
Vanessa's chiming in asking where this is at. I'm guessing she's talking about the icon thing. It's at the Nordlof Center, downtown Rockford on Main Street. The Nordlof is,
or maybe she's
talking about earlier.
I don't know. She didn't.
She could be talking about the PAWS cats. Where's PAWS too?
You could be. Yeah.
Might want to cover that one too.
Vanessa, we got a lot going on this show.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, Joann.
We are where it's at. What does she mean? We are where it's at.
We are where it's at.
We are. That's right. My dad always used to say, "It's all right here. Rockford is the hub of the world. It's all right here."
All right, had to throw that out there before we go.
Did he turn us off again?
I just hit the.
He did.
sound.
I was right in mid-sentence. I was like,
Boo!
Oh,
you're
she
dead.
wanted to know where the PAWS cats were. PAWS is near Cherryvale, across from Penny's, I think it
it's
is.
I'll tell you what, yeah, and it's just down from the Salvation Army store, the old
Yeah.
Toys R Us.
PAWS
Oops, I got it wrong.
Humane Society.
I got it wrong. That's not it.
PAWSHS.org.
That's not it. That's not it.
PAWSHS.org, yeah.
There we go. www.pawshs.org. There's the correct link. I don't know why I can't.
And we
erase
also have a Facebook page that is kept pretty up to date.
Yes, this is
With
the
the
website you want to go to get all things PAWS. But right now, we're doing all things big number of the week. Big number is 12.2 billion. That's with a B, billion. And the answer this week is boo or bed. Boo or bed. Tom has, he texted me his answer a while ago, and I got to double check. Okay, so he's got his answer in. Joann, boo or bed? 3, 2, 1, give me an answer.
Bed.
You both said bed. Have you ever heard of Hastings Mattress? Hastens. Hastings Mattress.
I have not.
It's a Swedish company, so the A has 2 dots above it. How do you pronounce that? Hastings?
Hastings, yeah.
It's
I said
Hastings.
probably.
Hastings.
Like Saab. Well, same thing as Saab, so yeah.
Hastings Mattress. The Swedish company layers horsehair by hand to produce the world's most expensive beds. They're top of the line models. They cost, brace yourself, they cost $589,000
Oh.
for a horsehair hand layered mattress. I wonder how comfortable they really are.
I don't know. They better be for $500,000. Better be the best night's sleep. You better die for 8 hours.
I'm pretty sure I've experienced a horsehair blanket before, and I know that that feeling is kind of cool. But to sleep on a horsehair mattress.
Well, the best part about it, it smells like a horse.
Oh, no.
And then when you wake up, there's a horse head in your bed.
Oh, ow. That's
all right. So let me guess. There will be 12.2 billion pieces of candy handed out for Halloween.
Scores going to stay 0-0. Americans are going to spend $4.1 billion on costumes and outfits this year, and about $12.2 billion overall on Halloween in general, according to a survey. This other survey also said 51% of all pet owners, they do plan to dress their animals in something Halloween related for Halloween.
I already have a black cat. He's already wearing his Halloween costume.
The costume is set.
I'm going to have him walk in front of all the trick-or-treaters.
This might be the longest race to 10. Neither one of you scored in 2 weeks. So there we go.
I know.
It's
All
just
right.
saying.
It's all right.
Be a long time before I got to pay off. That's nice too.
We're hoping for breakfast in June.
That's right. I love me, June. All right, kids. Next week is In Crowd Week. October In Crowd is going to be at Flanders Insurance Agency. And so we're going to have someone from Flanders on. We'll have John Berlin on. And looking forward to chatting with them on next week's show. Special thanks to YASH MUSABJI, the chief visual production dude at Icon Studios. His Prelude to Life debuts 1 week from tonight at the Nordloff Center downtown. His work with Youth Build Rockford is very, very cool. They've got a great setup down there at the community, the Comprehensive Community Solutions downtown. They got a great thing going down there. He's a part of that. And here is that big banner for Prelude to Life. Red carpet premiere next Saturday night.
Wow.
Official-icon.com is where you want to go for more information on that. One more quick thanks as well. Our SMS info is unofficially brought to you by Altruize, the app that helps you track, verify, and maintain your community service data for a lifetime. Altruize, tell a better story, live a better life. Get that in the App Store And remember, you change the world when you help one person. So be a blessing to someone this week. We'll try to do the same. Meet you back here next week for another Saturday Morning Stateline Show. You want to talk Packers after this?
I want to talk some football.
All right. We're going to talk some football in a minute.
Oh,
Bye.
come on, Joann. You should talk Packer football with us. Gosh.
See ya.
Bye, Joann.
Bye.
Where did you get that icon, that face where you got your hand going over your head?
You know, I was playing around with a phone photo thing, and I don't know that I could recreate that again, Tom.
Oh, wow.
I was just playing around with it one day. I was making cartoon, and there's a website that we promoted on this show called boredhumans.com. BORED, boredhumans.com.
Okay, I remember that.
And it's got all these free AI tools, and one of them is to cartoon yourself. That might be where I did that one, but I'm not sure.
I vaguely remember that years ago. Well, not years ago. I don't know. Maybe
it was earlier this year. It was really, yeah.
Okay. I just remember bored humans. I remember that. But anyway,
the Green Bay Packers don't look good.
Well, I'll tell you what I see the problem as. I think as Jordan Love goes a little further and further and further, they're starting to lose a little bit of confidence in him. Now, it's a twofold problem. Number one, he's young. He's going to make mistakes. It's intensified by the fact that they have an awful line right now. When you're missing Elton Jenkins, David Bakhtiari, but the Bakhtiari thing is the X factor. We haven't had much of him for the last couple of years anyway, and the line's been pretty good. So, but you've got other guys missing, you know, Royce Newman, I think his name is. Yash Nijman. Yash Nijman. But there's also Royce Newman, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, anyway, their line is a mishmash of nothingness. You and I could probably protect Jordan Love a little better. So there's your other problem. Now, you went up against in your last two games, you went up against Aiden Hutchinson, and then you went up against Max Crosby. Those two are 1 and 1A for the best in the league. They were absolute animals. And
Jordan did get a nice stiff arm in on Crosby that one run that he took, so that was pretty impressive. And my take right now is the fact that we have the youngest wide receiver core in the NFL. Our wide receiver number one is injured and is having another, I think, check on his confidence besides the injury, so that's not good. And your top offensive weapon is Aaron Jones, and he's played one game this year. He played two. The Detroit game he tried to play, and he was very ineffective. So they came off a bye. Well, it wasn't a bye. It was an 11-day. It might as well have been a bye. Might as well have been, because they went from Thursday to the following Monday, and they dropped a game 17-13 to the Raiders. The Raiders, who are not that good. Jimmy Garoppolo didn't look that good. Their offense didn't look that good. The Packers defense looked really good, despite the fact that you've got Devondre Campbell is gone. He's one of the best middle linebackers in the league. Your line right now is not doing its job. Your defensive line, even though we're talking down to the Packers here. Put my Packer hat on.
There you go. All right. No, we're just calling a spade a spade. It's okay. The Packers are going to be okay. Here's why. You got two tough games out of the way now. You lost them both. Fine. You're 2-3. Win again. You're 3-3. 3-3 through 6 games for a team that wasn't supposed to do better than 500. You have to hit your stride. You have to get your line back. You have to get your defensive guys back. You have to get over your injuries. You can get Aaron Jones back, because if Aaron Jones plays in last week's game, they win that game 30-10, 30-13, whatever. No doubt. But here's the other problem that Jordan Love has right now, and this is where the confidence factor is coming in. He's underthrowing guys. He's underthrowing. He's overthrowing too, but that's okay. I'd rather when you underthrow, you throw an interception. And what happened on that Christian Watson play where the guy horse collared him? That ended up saving the game for the Raiders.
It did.
It did, because he didn't score the touchdown. They ended up getting a field goal. Instead of going up 13-10, 14-10. Was it 10-7?
They tied it at 10, right, with that field goal?
That's what it was. I think that's what it was. I think it was 10-7. But anyway, whatever they did, that was 4 points lost. But that ball was severely underthrown. Christian Watson had to slow down and wait for it. Then he got it. Now those two converged on him, and the one guy grabbed him with the horse collar. The other problem is they still almost won that game. They've got the ball, and they're on the 30-yard line. And a field goal is not going to do them any good because they were losing 17-13. They needed the touchdown. And he throws it, and Christian Watson, if you watch the replay, he had his guy beat. Aaron Rodgers, and I hate to make this comparison, Aaron Rodgers would have put the ball right there. He also would have put the Christian Watson one right there. There's 21 points they would have had. There's 21 points. They would have won the game. But that doesn't mean I want Aaron Rodgers back. Even a healthy 40-year-old Aaron Rodgers, I'd still rather have
I want Jordan Love learning the game.
I do, because remember, Aaron Rodgers had 11 interceptions his first season. He was 6-10. So the bar is not that high for Jordan Love right now. He's going to be fine. But that ball was underthrown. And what happened was, if you look, I'm going to have to go back and look at it again. But if you look, the defender had his hand on Christian Watson's chest, and he was pushing him. And he actually pushed him away and then intercepted the ball. Should have been pass interference by the way the rule reads, but I understand why they didn't call it, and I'm okay that they didn't call it, because you can't call it every time.
Yeah, both ways. It's both ways.
Yeah, but there is inconsistency in the reffing, and that's what's driving me nuts. And you know what? Now, I'm not going to say it. I'll say it to you. I have another comment about reffing, but I'm going to save it for another time when we're not on the air. So
I will say this, and I reluctantly say this. This has been the first week I've actually kind of questioned Coach LaFleur. And I don't want to go there, because I know he's building something with the young players. And I think they're gonna be fine. I think it's gonna get together, and next year and the year after, we're gonna see playoff contention teams. And maybe even in 3 to 5 years, a Super Bowl contender again. I do believe that.
I believe it too.
The thing that caught me this week, though, was my guy, Kurt Benkert. Kurt Benkert was on video with someone talking about his experience with Coach LaFleur leading up to his being cut from the team.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kurt Benkert's got he could be a coach. He's doing stuff with video, the football games and stuff on video games, which is really impressive how he lays out plays. He wrote a book about being a quarterback in the NFL. Basically the essential things you need to know to be a quarterback in the NFL, things he wished he knew before he got to the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
And did really well with that book. But the summer he got cut, because he was with the Packers for about almost a year and a half.
Okay. Yeah.
And as a backup, and that summer OTAs, when Aaron Rodgers wasn't there and Kurt was doing the majority of the work as the quarterback, he said he was butting heads with Coach LaFleur on some strategy ideas with how to run an NFL offense. And he was really not happy with the direction that Coach LaFleur was going. And a couple weeks later, he got cut.
Wow, that's real interesting.
Yeah. Because he was asked who his least favorite offensive coordinator was to work with. He was with the Falcons. He was with the Packers. He was with the 49ers. He really liked working with Dan, who was the Falcons coach before he went to
Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn. Really liked working with Dan Quinn. Really liked working with Kyle Shanahan. And he goes, I hate to say this, but Matt LaFleur, we butted heads on stuff. And our ideas, the best way to utilize the talent we had, I didn't agree with. And I'm like,
Okay. I still like Matt LaFleur. My only problem right now, I did mention this a second ago. I said, they seem, I hate to use the word timid, but almost gun shy, almost afraid to let Jordan Love loose and let him be Jordan Love, but he hasn't earned it yet. He hasn't proved that he can be the heir apparent. He hasn't proved it. I thought after the first couple of games, after game 3, when he brought the team back and he was, all but getting dumped on with Gatorade, they I don't know. I really, really thought moving forward, get week 4, week 5, and then they drop a couple of games in not real good fashion. So is that on Matt LaFleur, or is that him being a little more cautious with a young quarterback and not wanting to break his spirit, not wanting to break him in the first 8 games? So the jury's out on that. I think they need to work with him a little better, a little more, and say, no, be more confident, be more on target. Throw that ball. Don't underthrow it. Throw it. You got a gun for an arm. Use it. If they work on that, and because a couple of those balls, if he completes those passes, Packers win.
And that's
even that one to Christian Watson, they go up.
Yeah.
They go up 14 to 10.
Yeah.
Instead of 10 to 13, whatever.
I got to say, that's where I'm encouraged, because after getting completely spanked by the Lions, I mean, the Lions, they own us right now. They own the Packers, and that's okay. I get it. They got the skills right now. After getting completely spanked by the Lions, we come back to play the Raiders, and there's Jordan Love still out there, kind of gunslinging, doing some Brett Favre type stuff, just trying to do stuff that he shouldn't be doing. And he's learning. And that's going to be, I think, a good thing, because I do believe the skills are there. The smarts are there. If he gets a little bit better line and Aaron Jones or someone like Aaron Jones back, the future does still look bright. I do think that.
We're going to probably be drafting a running back next year, high-end running back. Here's the one stat that sums it all up for me. I don't remember exactly what the number was. It's 2.4 or 2.7. I don't remember. His time to throw, his time before he had to exit the pocket, 2.4, 2.7, something like that. That's less than 3 seconds. That's not enough time. By the time you get back and you set and you're ready to throw the ball, here comes Max Crosby. Here comes Aiden Hutchinson. It's been the last 2 games. That line has so here's how you combat that. You bring in A.J. Dillon, and you bring in your number 3 running back, which last week it was Patrick Taylor. He's no longer there. They cut him this week. So fine, you got Emmanuel Wilson and A.J. Dillon. Use A.J. Dillon as your fullback or your blocking back. He's big enough to do that. Or you bring in another tight end to come around and help you block. And then Jordan Love can survey the field, because he's good enough to do that. He can look at the field and say, third progression up, boom, there you go. He's got a lot of check down receivers. They can do that. They have to get him more blocking. That's point number 1.
Right.
They have to do that. That will also open up something down the field. And once you've established that you can block those guys, and you can't just send, if you're Detroit or LA or Las Vegas, whatever, you can't just start sending guys. You can't put 6 in the box and just start loading it up, because you're going to get burned. This is why the Packers have been successful with Aaron Rodgers, because he's been able to, 1, scramble, but 2, find that open check down guy. Usually a Randall Cobb. Used to be Jordy Nelson all the time. I mean, those are the elements that you need. And that lack of blocking the line is creating the problem that Jordan Love is now facing. And that's not being able to find the receiver, because he's on the run. He's like, oh crap, I got to get out of here. And he just flings it. And he either overthrows it, underthrows it. They've had a lot of 3 and outs. You can't do that. The other problem that creates when you get a lot of 3 and outs, your defense is like, oh crap, we got to go back on the field again. We're already tired. It's only in the second quarter. And so there you go. It's a fairly simple fix, but then again, maybe not. I don't know.
That's the plus and minus of having that favored receiver. And what really kind of hurt Rodgers when he was the year they lost to the 49ers in the playoffs. It's like he was just focusing on Devontae Adams, and he was totally missing everybody else.
Alan Lazard was running right across the middle. Boom. There he is.
So now we've got a guy who's not 100% favoring any of his receivers. He's actually looking for the open guy. And there's a positive and a negative to that. Kind of on the negative side, well, he is scanning everything because he doesn't have that Kelsey. He doesn't have that total trustworthy outlet to say, okay,
Oh,
Number one is
how
probably
about this? How about
the
this?
guy.
Yeah, how about this? He doesn't have Devontae Adams. You know, Devontae Adams left Green Bay because he wasn't sure of Aaron Rodgers' future. He goes there for 1 year to Las Vegas, and Derek Carr is gone.
I know.
And now you got Jimmy Garoppolo, who's an amazing 42-17 as a starter.
Yeah.
How is he really that good?
He's
No.
really that lucky.
I don't believe in luck, not at least not in this case. I mean, everything is whatever. I think he's just a product of a good system. Product of the game manager, yes, but a product of a good system, meaning when he was in San Francisco, he was I'm telling you, first he was in New England. So he went from New England with Bill Belichick and playing behind Tom Brady to San Francisco, yes. Now he's in Las Vegas, and say what you want about Josh McDaniel. Well, okay, maybe not, maybe just not a lot of great players, but Josh McDaniels was essentially a lot of the brains behind some of those Super Bowls. I think Josh McDaniels is a pretty good football coach. I think he's a good football coach. I think he's a lousy head coach. Big difference.
Exactly.
Big difference.
And
that's why
offensive coordinators, because
he probably should have, because he goes back to New England and they win another Super Bowl after he did the Denver experience. So
for Denver, I'm not crying for Denver. I still don't like Denver ever since they beat Brett Favre in the Super Bowl. But they're just sad. I mean, what's happening in Denver? Are they going to just cut Russell Wilson before the end of the season? What are they going to do with him? And
I have no idea, because I heard something yesterday, and I don't know if I misheard it. Under the salary cap, they're going to take a $40 million cap hit next year.
Hit.
31 after that. 27 after that. My God, for like the next 3 or 4 years, they're in salary cap HELL.
They bought the farm, and the farm ain't got no animals left on it.
Yeah.
It's not good.
And it's a drought. Oh my God. No, they're going to have to be. Okay, so here's my take on it. Tell me what you think. If I'm Russell Wilson is, I'm pretty sure he's a man of God. He is a very nice guy. In fact, that's one of the things people don't like about him, is that he's so sappy nice, and I think they don't trust him. If I'm Russell Wilson, I go up to management and I say, okay, you give me $5 million a year for the next 3 years. You keep the rest of that. Yeah. I can't justify taking 40-something million, 30-something million. That will absolutely destroy that organization. Deshaun Watson, same thing. They paid him $230 million guaranteed. He's not even playing. There should be a stipulation that if you're going to flake out on us like that, or if you're going to lose your arm strength or something, I'm sorry, all bets are off.
It's the NFL, and there's usually nothing guaranteed in the NFL. It's so if you do get something guaranteed, you've earned it somehow. It's
I know, but what it does is it makes it bad for the rest of the people. The rest of the people coming along wanting a big contract. Oh, sorry, that. Remember that Russell Wilson guy? Remember that Deshaun Watson guy? Sorry, we can't do it.
Billions of dollars are going to be just fine. They'll find some way to, they'll pay the luxury tax. They'll go over their salary caps. They'll do whatever they need to do.
Well, luxury tax is only baseball. The salary cap, you simply can't do it. You simply can't. And nobody does, because you can't. It's like if you got $25 and you go to Walmart and you want to buy $30 worth of groceries, sorry, you're going to have to take that pot roast back,
You're done. You're done.
Yeah. So it's real interesting. And as far as baseball, let's just talk baseball for a second, if you don't mind. Texas and Houston, God, I hope Texas wins.
I'm pulling for the Rangers now.
Oh, I don't want Houston to win. I don't want Busty Dusty to win another game. I don't.
Yeah, go Rangers. I think I've become. I'll jump on the Rangers bandwagon. Diamondbacks are so stinking hot though right now. It's hard to see them not.
Oh yeah, Diamondbacks in Philly. I'm loving it. Are you kidding me? The
Dodgers
are gone. Series. I did not mind Atlanta losing. I don't hate Atlanta, but I can't stand the Dodgers. Mm-hmm. Just don't like the Dodgers. So I'm okay with Atlanta losing, and definitely okay with the Dodgers losing. But But
Philly and Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona and probably Houston is what it's going to be. That's what I think. Although Philly's pretty good. Philadelphia.
Philly's probably got the best talent of any team out there right now, total talent wise. But
what I would like to see is Philly and Texas. And I'd like to see Philly win it. I don't like the Phillies. I never have. I hate Philadelphia. I hate the city. I hate the fans. I don't like their mentality. But I want Bryce Harper to get. He's a really good guy. He's a really good guy.
He's one of those guys that should have been the face of the MLB before Shohei Ohtani came into the league. Mm-hmm. And the MLB is not good at marketing itself. They really are not. I mean, compared to the NBA, forget the NFL. NFL's top of the heap. They got it down.
Yeah. By a long shot, yes.
Even in the NBA, at least they allow a lot of highlights and stuff on social media and stuff like that. They allow some things. But MLB, they just do some goofy things. They have not embraced social media like they should have. And Bryce Harper should have been a household name, you know? There's a handful of guys. And now the Shohei Ohtani, where's he going to end up? Is he going to be a Cub?
I don't know. I doubt it. The Ricketts aren't going to spend $200 million on a player. They have before, but that didn't work out so well with Yu Darvish.
Oh gosh, right.
And they, Yu Darvish, it took him 3 years to come into his own, and then he became a stud, and a year later he's gone. Whatever. Oh, and by the way, I know you hate the Cubs, or you don't hate the Cubs. I know you're a Brewer fan. You're a Brewer fan. I got you. Yeah, no, I know. I was watching the other day. You have Kyle Schwarber, former Cub, leading the majors in home runs, hitting home runs in the NLCS. That's fine. But Kyle Schwarber, I would rather have him than not have him. Who's the other one? Oh, Craig Kimbrell was the Cubs closer. For some reason, they couldn't keep him. Now he's a star or at least a good pitcher with Philly. You also have Nick Castellanos. He had 2 home runs in 2 games.
2 games in a row. Never been done before in the playoffs.
Yeah. Another former Cub. Put those 3 guys back on the Cubs team this year. Oh, gosh. And maybe you're making the playoffs. Maybe you're the Philly or the Arizona this year.
That is hard to see. That is hard to watch as a Cubs fan. That was tough.
All right, so a couple more things.
All right.
I was at Wood Forest Bank last night, or I was at Walmart, and I was walking by it. And this guy comes up and says, "Hey, how are you?" It's Matt Nestor.
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. How are you, buddy? He's back in the banking business. I just wanted to tell you that. I thought that was kind of cool.
Okay.
And then one other thing, I am doing a Halloween trivia. I didn't want to say it earlier, but it's no big deal. Doing a Halloween trivia in a couple of weeks at Park Lanes. So
Park Lanes.
Yeah.
And that'll be an open to the public thing?
Open to the public, yeah. So I'm asking you if you want to show up, go ahead. It'll be a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun. Although I got to be careful. I don't want to end up with 20 teams.
What was the date on that again?
It's Thursday, the 26th.
Oh, well, that's an in-crowd night.
Oh, too bad.
We're going to be at Flanders Insurance on that night.
Too bad.
Yeah. All right. Another time.
Yeah. And I am going to make the in-crowd fairly soon. And at some point, I would be more than happy to, not every time, but every once in a while, come and bring my just my speaker, like speakers I use for trivia, and just play a little music and play the in-crowd theme, because we don't play it now. We used to on the radio.
I know. I don't want them cutting off our video on YouTube. So
yeah, I don't understand that. I don't.
At least they'll cut out that portion of it. But anyway,
or they might just get nasty and cut the whole thing out.
No Packers game this weekend. Bears play the Vikings.
Oh, I will be rooting for the Bears. Well, I hate the Vikings. I do.
We're Bears fans this weekend, folks.
We are Bears fans.
Embrace that. All right, buddy. Have yourself an awesome week, and we'll catch up with you later.
All right, dude. I will talk to you next week, if not before.
All righty. Later, everybody. Have a great week.
Bye, peoples.